Today is the practice day of the Colombian Ozone Paragliding Open. So I'd like to share with you a typical task and why the task is set, how to fly it, and a simple explanation of the turn points, the start gates, and the end of speed sections and the goals. Exciting! Once you take off on a task, you normally have 1 hour from the window open to the start turn point. So you either use that time to get into the air and relax, or if you don't like gaggles, take off later and go out after everybody else. But you use this time, you suss the air out, and then you get used to the day before entering the turn point and going on your glide. Now this glide is important. You've got to be efficient and you've got to be fast, because if you turn, you lose. So every turn you do going away from the turn point, you're losing time. So you want to make the glide efficient and your climbs efficient. So only turn in the good stuff until you can get to where it's really good and you can climb really easy, which is normally at the tops of the mountains or where the trees meet the flatlands. While on glide, you can think about using your speed bar, but think about the sink and think of your polar curve. Are you going downwind or into wind? But the key is speed, and you want to get to the highest point of the next climb as quick as possible. Once you climb, you then go on a glide again, bar it, go for it. But choose the thermals wisely. You want to find a thermal, climb it quick, and go on your glide. And that's the key to the speed to fly technique. Thermaling is really important, done efficiently, smoothly, and turning as tight as you can on the strongest lift gets you up a lot quicker. But if the lift is weak, then just smooth climb, searching for where the lift is much, much stronger. And always take the strongest lift. Once you've got the lift, go on your glide again, and what you're looking for is the turn point. You want to get there efficiently. You want to then get the turn point quickly, make sure you're in, and then head back to where you can climb again and get up as high as you can before setting off on your next glide. When you climb, make sure that you have got just enough height to get to where it's really good. Don't stay in weak climbs if you can see it's climbing much better somewhere else. Always be prepared to move to where the climb is better. And don't sit there thinking, oh, mine will get better, when you see someone passing you going up much faster. Always go to where the pilot is going up better. The other great one here are the birds. They're beautiful. And if you want to find where the lift is, just look where the birds are. When you're on your glide along mountains, you generally follow the relief, follow the high points of the ridge, and make your glide efficient. It's all about trying not to turn, making your speed and glide efficient, looking at your lift drag coefficient. Now, when you arrive and you see a big gaggle, you've got to go obviously the same way. It's all about pilot etiquette. But a lot of people stay in gaggles because they're looking at everybody else. So if you get up in a gaggle and you're at the top, go. You don't have to eke out every piece of lift before you go on your next glide, because that really, really slows you down. Always ask, am I high enough to get to the next climb? Yes, go. Now, flying in mountains, you want to just only climb in the good stuff, and you make those climbs efficient and tight so that the time climbing is as short as possible. And always look at your next glide. Have you got the height to do the glide? Yes, go across. Especially if it's a river crossing. You need the height to cross a big valley, because when you get to the other side, you've got a spur, and you've got to arrive at that spur as high as possible in order to get round the corner and work the sunny sides. So make sure you've got a high enough glide to get to the next climb and then follow the spurs. Once you've got your turn point, then it's a case of going back and getting into that climb. But if you are going to a turn point and you've got a strong climb before the turn point and you're low, then take the climb first because it's strong and it's saving you time. Then get the turn point, then go back. A lot of people are so keen to get the turn point and go Not good. Get the height, then get the turn point and go. In this case, I got the turn point and then got the thermal, but it was a good thermal, it was worth it. I followed the birds, it was perfect. So as soon as I started to slow down, I moved. So you can see that the core was really tight, and as soon as it went weak, I was high enough, I go. There's no searching around for better stuff. Doesn't happen. Apart from just then, because I did it. Going on a glide is important to always think of your speed, your sink, and your efficiency. So squeeze down that bar and get used to being flat and smooth, not pitch oscillating, because it really is inefficient on glides. You want to just let the glider do the work, and you just sit there as smooth as possible. Now when we get to the next turn point, you can see I'm taking a climb just to make sure I've got enough height, because I've got to get the turn point and go back to goal. So there I've got the turn point and I'm now racing back to goal. So I've got to be as fast as possible, because I can arrive at goal at any altitude, because it's about crossing into the cylinder. So we set off on our glide, have maximum speed. I'm nice and high. I want to get back fast. So the end of speed section is coming up 1 kilometre away from the goal. So I'm full speed while I'm nice and high. I enter end of speed, fantastic. I've now got my speed points, but I haven't got them until I get into goal. You must be in goal to get your speed points. But now I'm not in a hurry. I just take a climb, relax, and glide into goal, making sure I get into that 200 metre cylinder of goal in a relaxed, peaceful time. Not stressed, not barring low, not putting myself in danger. And that's the key at the end. That's why we have end of speed sections. Colombia is a stunning place to fly, but there are certain things you must be aware of around here. One of them are pyrocumulus, big fires that will make a cumulus cloud. Now, you might think, oh great, I'll go straight into that cloud and that fire and I'll go up really fast. Yes, you might do, but also you might catch fire and you'll be in a lot of turbulence and you'll throw your reserve, and guess where the reserve will land? In the fire. So do not go in any fire smoke. Another one is overdevelopment. Here is very tropical. You'll see big overdevelopment, but it's important that if we say land because of the overdevelopment, land, because it's important to get down quick. You better be on the ground wishing you were in the air than up there wishing you were down on the ground because you're being sucked up by a QNIM. So please respect the clouds and keep away from them. Another danger is gaggle flying. The key is be predictable. We're all going the same way. You always look, you always move your body and look the way you're going, and you are predictable to the person next to you, and together you can work as a group, even though you're competing. Even on glides, you fly next to each other, not behind and underneath, but next to each other, searching for lift, going for glides. But don't fly close to each other, because you have a deflation, you're into each other. The other great thing are the children. The locals are so polite and so warming and so friendly. And if you've had a bad day or in a mood, then please don't take it out on the locals. Always be polite, and remember you're an ambassador for your great sport. The key is having fun, and the best pilot is the one having the most fun.